Hello student, in the last lecture we discussed about the range of the projectile. We already talked about the range of the projectile, which is the maximum distance covered by the projectile during its projectile motion. In the last lecture we derived the equation for the motion of the particle. So in that we thoroughly gone through this derivation of the motion, and at the end we derive the equation for the motion, and it comes out to be the parabolic motion. So from that we can conclude that the motion of the projectile is supposed to be parabolic in nature. So the today's topic is the range of the projectile. So what is the range of the projectile? So in basic kinematics we already talked about this range of the projectile, which is the maximum distance covered by the projectile during its trajectory. So when projectile starts its trajectory by making certain angle with the horizontal axis, so it follows these kinds of the trajectory. So this path is supposed to be parabolic. We already discussed in the last lecture also. So what is the formula for this range? How to derive this range of the projectile? So today's topic is regarding the range of the projectile. So we'll start our discussion by drawing the projectile motion. Okay. So the motion of the projectile can be explained with the help of these two coordinate system. Suppose projectile starts its motion from the origin, that is 0, 0 position, and it follows such kinds of the path, and this path is known as the parabolic path or the projectile motion. So the maximum distance covered by the projectile along the horizontal is nothing but the range of the projectile, and the vertical maximum distance covered by the projectile is nothing but the height of the projectile. So our aim is to find the range of the projectile as well as the maximum height of the projectile as well as time required for this complete projectile motion. Okay, so in the last lecture we derived the equation 1.20, that is the equation for the path of the projectile. So just recall this equation 1.20. So this equation is y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square upon 2u square cos square theta. So this is the last equation we already derived in the last lecture. So for range of the projectile for r, this is the maximum distance covered along the x-axis or horizontal axis. Suppose instead of x we just put the value of r. So by taking the consideration for x is equal to r, so for that point your y direction is 0, y momentum of the particle is supposed to be 0. So putting this value in equation, so at x is equal to r and y is equal to 0, because when we are talking about the horizontal motion, so in that case we are putting the vertical component as a 0. So if you put those values in our equation, you will get these y is equal to 0. Instead of x we have a r value, tan theta as it is, minus g r square upon 2u square cos square theta. So we solve this equation. So I just put this r tan theta from this side. So r tan theta is equal to g r square upon 2u square cos square theta. So r from both sides fully cancel out. So remaining term is tan theta. Instead of tan theta I just write sin theta upon cos theta. This is the expansion of this tan theta, and this g r as it is 2u square cos square theta. Okay, so we want to find the r. So put r into one side and remaining term into the other side. So r is equal to sin theta upon cos theta as it is. So I just move this part into this side. So 2u square cos square theta upon g. Okay, so this cos theta, one cos theta goes away, and what are the remaining terms? So remaining terms are r is equal to u square 2 sin theta into cos theta upon g. Okay, so sorry, g. So what is the expansion of these 2 sin theta into cos theta? That is sin 2 theta. So instead of 2 sin theta into cos theta, I just put the value of u square sin 2 theta upon g. So this is the range of the projectile. So this is the maximum distance covered by the projectile along the horizontal direction. If you want to find the maximum range of the projectile, so for maximum range, what should be the value of sine 2 theta? It should be 1. Then you can get the maximum value for the r. So for maximum value or maximum r, so for maximum value of r, sine 2 theta should be 1. And what is this value of sine 2 theta? 1. What should be the value of 2 theta? Sine theta is equal to 1 for what angle? Pi by 2. So instead of 2 theta, I just write this. So 2 theta is equal to pi by 2, and for theta it comes up to be pi by 4. So if I have an angle of projection that is 45 degree, so in that case you will find the range is the maximum distance covered along the horizontal direction. So this is the equation for range of the projectile, and this is the condition for the maximum range. We already talked about the range of the projectile, which is the maximum distance covered by the projectile along the horizontal direction. So next part is what is the time required for the complete projectile motion, particularly in terms of the time or in terms of the initial velocity, which is the known quantity for us. So let us discuss the time of the flight. So this is the time required for the projectile to complete its trajectory, starting from its origin to reach at the end of the projectile motion at the r values. Okay, so this is time of the projectile. Okay, so in the last lecture we talked about the equation 1.8, and if we just 1.18, sorry, if we just put value for k is equal to 0, that is the motion of the projectile in non-resistive medium. So for non-resistive medium, so what is the value of non-resistive medium? So for non-resistive medium, k is 0. And what is k? So basically k defines the resistivity of the medium. If you find this, k is non-zero, so in that case air resistance or the many of the factors comes into the picture which opposes the motion of the particle. So if you put the k value in equation 1.18, you will find the equation that is t is equal to x upon u cos theta. If you put the k is equal to 0, that is non-resistive medium, so you will find t is equal to x upon u cos theta. And we already discussed equation for y. So from equation 1.20 we already discussed y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square upon 2x square cos square theta. So put the value of t in equation 1.20, we will find the equation for path. So x is equal to, instead of we can write the value from these equations for t. So x is equal to t u cos theta. X is equal to u cos theta. So we put the value of x in equation 1.20, you will get the t u cos theta into tan theta minus g instead of x, t u cos theta square upon remaining term as it is 2u square cos square theta. So solve these equation. So y is equal to, I just type these cos theta and tan theta separately, t u cos theta into tan theta sin theta upon cos theta. So cos theta fully cancel out. What are the remaining terms? So g t u cos square theta, so minus g t square u square cos square theta upon 2 u square cos square theta. So again u square cos square theta cancel out. So what is the remaining term? So y is equal to t u sin theta. Yes, and what are the remaining terms? G t square upon 2. Okay, so those are the remaining terms. So at So if you take a derivative of this equation, what do you get? So if you take derivative and equalize to 0, you will find the maximum quantities, which is unknown quantity at maximum height. Okay, so let's try. So derivative, take a derivative of this, so dy by dt, of course with respect to t. So u sine theta, so derivative of t is 1, so again g by 2, and what is derivative of t square? 2t, so 2t, so u sine theta minus 1 by 2, this 2 cancel out, so I just write this in terms of gt. So this is dy by dt, okay, derivative of y direction with respect to time. This is changing y direction with respect to time, and if I equalize this to 0, so if dy by dt is equal to 0, why I am putting this derivative equal to 0? Because I want to find the t values, which is unknown for us, okay, in terms of known quantity u and theta. Okay, so if I write this du by dt equal to 0, you will find the maximum height of the projectile in the projectile motion. Okay, so 0 is equal to u sine theta minus gt, and again we are writing this equation, t comes out to be u sine theta upon z. So what is the value of this t? I am talking about this equation, this motion, and this is the time required for this reaching to the maximum height, because at maximum height dy by dt is equal to 0. So at this point there is no change in the vertical direction, there is no change in the vertical motion of the particle. That's why I am putting this dy by dt is equal to 0. Okay, so for that value you will find the t, and this is the time required to reach the maximum height. Okay, and what is the total time? If I ask the question, this is the time required to reach the maximum height, so what should be the time required to complete trajectory? It should be 2 times this. Okay, so this is time required for the half motion, and the symmetrically half motion requires the same time. Okay, so time of flight is like this 2 times, that is t is equal to 2u sine theta upon g. So this is the time of flight. So look at those values. So we express this time of flight in terms of the known quantity, that is theta, angle of projection, and g is the constant, that is acceleration due to gravity. Okay, if you just go beyond one step and let's try to find out the maximum height attained by the particle, attained by the projectile. In the projectile motion, you have to just put the value of t in our equation 1.20, you will get the maximum height of the projectile. Okay, so with this we'll stop here. In the next lecture, we'll start our discussion by introducing the new concept in the physics, that is the changing mass system, where we discuss the Newton's second law of motion, where the momentum is mass into velocity and force is exerted on the particle when there is change in momentum. So in the previous lectures we discussed the system where velocity is changing with respect to time, but in the next lecture we discuss the system where the mass is continuously changing with respect to time, and this system is nothing but the rocket motion. So in the rocket motion we discuss what are the different components which affect the rocket motion, what are the what is the projectile motion which followed by the rocket, and what are the independent what are the equation of motion, and all those kinds of the stuff we are discussing in the next lecture. Okay, so for today I'll stop it. Thank you.